Welcome to Biting Off More Than We Can Chew podcast episode, where we dig deep into the psychological influence of social media on eating behaviors and body image. We are your hosts, Susanna,
Lily,
and Rosalind.
And today we're unveiling the truth behind the inspiration, the healthy weight, and body positivity as it pertains to social media, eating behaviors, and body image.
In a personal testimony from social media user Sierra to the New York Times about her perspective on the full picture of social media's influence on users, she comments how, on social media, there are many posts disseminating negative messages. They tell you how you should eat, how many times you should exercise, what weight you should be, how tall you should be, and so on. In the end, I hope I can tell anyone who is caring about you, should look, or having an appearance anxiety that if you could be yourself, you are perfect.
Most of us grew up watching unrealistic bodies on social media, TV shows, but who would have thought that our favorite movies, social apps, and TV shows are one of the main reasons why there are body image and eating concerns in our society? These behaviors are often acquired with not so healthy actions because society implements specific looks that are more likely to be unattainable for most people. With desperation, we practice methods that we believe will make us look perfect, and as a result, blindly believe that we will attain happiness, life success, and validation from others.
Social media's representation of food, eating behaviors, and body image target many vulnerable people. Most consumers of this type of media are searching for some form of gratification, but this is proven to produce negative effects on people. Internalizations of these unhealthy standards are seen primarily in women as they continue to expose themselves to unrealistic presentations of eating habits to try to achieve an unattainable appearance. Embedded foods shown in children's entertainment combined with the unrealistic standards put in mass media condition these impressionable children to form unhealthy relationships with food early on.
To wrap up our episode, we will discuss the positive impact social media can have on body image and disordered eating. There are many different examples of different body types on social media that foster body positivity without being focused on appearance. Research has found that these forms of body positivity actually help foster healthy behaviors in people who struggle with body image and disordered eating. We will look at different resources that can help people struggling with body image and disordered eating, and how social media has made it easier to be connected to people going through similar struggles.
As we look deeper into this sensitive subject, we want to remind everyone to put their mental health first. We would like to give a disclaimer that some of what we are going to discuss may be triggering and/or disturbing for some individuals. We appreciate your understanding. Now let's pass it to Susanna.
Hi everyone, I am Susana Lopez, and today I will discuss the healthy weight discourse in eating and body image concerns. To begin, I want to ask a few questions. Do you think that fitting the beauty standards society has implemented will make you successful and feel happier? Or have y'all ever compared yourself to your favorite celebrity? Perhaps were they thin, or did they look like they had the ideal body?
Of course. Hasn't everybody?
Well, I'm so sorry to tell you this, but you have been a victim of the thinness ideal and self-objectification. Our society has implemented many beauty standards that are often unrealistic and unattainable. As a result, it can lead to the endorsement of extreme and harmful behaviors as a means of achieving it. So I actually know of someone who was often told that he was fat, and because his friends repeatedly bullied him and told him that he must lose weight to look more attractive, he did what he called a water and gum diet. Until he saw results, he would only drink water and chew gum. He received his quote-unquote ideal body, but at what cost? A disclaimer for what I'm about to say, but at some point he had suicidal thoughts, but fortunately he sought help, and now he is continuing with his weight loss journey, but of course in a healthier way. As Rachel Rogers has introduced, social cultural theories of the development of body image and eating disorders have highlighted the casual role of the social discourse glorifying thinness and vilifying overweight. Anyone can be a target, but research by Rachel Cohen shows that we live in a society that sexually objectifies the female body and encourages women and girls to self-objectify. Self-objectification for females can have many negative psychological consequences, such as body shame, appearance anxiety, disordered eating, and sexual dysfunction, to name a few. And if this intrigues, don't skip the next episode because Rosalind will give you more background and detailed information. As concluded by Lucy Bassett, eating disorders have an image problem in the media today. But do not get discouraged because later on this episode, Lily will inform us that social media can also have a positive impact. So if you would like to learn more about it, stay with us. Overall, thank you for listening to me, and now I'll pass it over to Rosalind, who's going to talk about the main target groups of these social media body standards.
Thanks, Susanna. Nearly everyone is at risk of the negative influences of social media when it pertains to the healthy weight and thinness ideal. Women, especially young adolescent women, are the most targeted by social media's degrading norms of the perfect body. Women have been objectified for so long that they've begun to do it to themselves. Social media has created a much more accessible route for the contagion of unhealthy standards to reach these vulnerable groups.
Oh, that makes sense because thin women are the main role models and covers of what people share online.
Exactly. The thinness ideal prominent in social media is mostly found in Western cultures. Westernized pop culture marks thin women as the center of what is beautiful in society. However, this unrealistic and non-inclusive ideal starts the spread of something much deeper. According to Richard Perloff, a great deal of the research on body image related to the female beauty is conducted using young white women. The lack of diverse research yields a glimpse into the lack of proper representation of food and its effects in just about every form of media.
With the great deal of consumable media used by children in the last decade, are there recorded effects?
Children from a young age are conditioned through embedded food in their everyday forms of consumable media. From a can of Coke in a TV show to a pack of Oreos in their favorite games, children are exposed to a vast collection of unhealthy foods. These natural appearances of low nutritional foods within the young generation's most impressionable years has led to childhood obesity and, in much more common cases, insecurities about food itself. Embedded foods are accompanied by the thinness ideal from a surprisingly young age. Richard Perloff writes that girls as young as 3 to 5 years old associate positive characteristics with thinner subjects. Just about everyone has played with a Barbie doll. These thin, plastic-styled dolls are all the rave when it comes to young children. However, subconsciously, these toys are also harming our children's self-esteem and perception of the world. The lack of inclusivity, especially in the earlier models of the dolls, granted access to only Barbie's features to become the beauty standard. There was little room for representation of differences in the early days of dolls. However, as Mattel begins to release new lines of dolls with inclusive and diverse features, children are better exposed to the unique variations in society.
So, if children are modeled from such a young age to see food in a certain light and are only exposed to thin role models in their own forms of media, then there must be strong unhealthy eating habits that form as they grow, right?
Right. These ideas formed around food and what social media says they should look like from a young age part the water for much bigger fish. These include, but are definitely not limited to, seeking gratification, internalizations, and in severe cases, eating disorders. Unhealthy relationships with food and eating habits lead many individuals to seek help from easily accessible places. In this case, the most unhelpful form of help they can find is social media. Social media is, as Richard Perloff defines, a transactional form of media. This means that you are contributing to what is presented to you through these sites, opening doors to comparisons to peers, edited celebrities, and pro-anorexia and pro-bulimia accounts and sites.
How are lifestyle changes presented to vulnerable individuals creating unhealthy habits related to eating and body images?
So, pro-anorexia and pro-bulimia sites provide a falsely positive outlook on the lifestyle tied to these forms of disordered eating. They provide dangerous ways to transform yourself from the unhealthy and fat lifestyle into a beautiful and thin lifestyle. These sites are incredibly misleading and can put a person's life at risk. There are ways to escape these websites, but they are very difficult, especially when you are already vulnerable to social media standards. Many people affected by social media seek ways to measure up to what social media has deemed the norm. However, it is possible to escape the negative cycle. There are many sites that individuals can seek out to learn how to create a positive outlook on their bodies. It seems like social media has a very negative impact on body image and the formation of eating disorders. Does it have any sort of positive impact?
That's a great question. While research primarily focuses on the negative aspects of social media, it can also have a positive impact if used correctly. Instagram has been the main platform for the body positivity movement. Viewing real images on social media platforms such as Instagram modifies your exposure to ideal images, creating a positive impact on body image. Social media can offer social support to people who identify as having an eating disorder or body image concerns and increases their access to resources to help.
So you mentioned that Instagram has been the main platform for the body positivity movement. So what exactly is the body positivity movement for those of us that may not know?
The body positivity movement is any message that challenges the ideal body and encourages self-acceptance. It is the portrayal of different body types and sizes with the goal of body awareness and acceptance. One of the movement's main goals is to take the focus off of the appearance of the human body and shift the focus to what the body can do for us. As of 2022, there are more than 17.61 million hashtag body positive tags, 9.38 million hashtag body positivity, and 1.42 million hashtag BOPO tags. Hashtags such as hashtags all body are good bodies encourage users to post contents that encourages acceptance of all body types and sizes.
That's an incredible thing that people are coming together all around the world to encourage others to accept their bodies. So you have discussed how social media spreads body positivity, but how exactly does it increase their access to resources that may be able to help?
Recently, social media has been used by young adults to find health information. Because of this, health professionals have begun turning to social media platforms like Facebook to encourage healthy behaviors in young adults. Multiple doctors and therapists such as Dr. Mike, Katie Morton, LMFT, and Sarah, the binge eating therapist, have turned to YouTube and TikTok to create content that helps people with mental health issues such as eating disorders. Not only can you find health professionals on social media, but you can also find other people who are going through the same thing. Increasing access to social media platforms has shown that people with an ED can become a medium for sharing their experiences and information. 7 Cups is a mental health support platform where ordinary people who have had mental health struggles or just want to help people with mental health struggles can be a listener. Listeners get to choose what topics they are most comfortable talking about or have experience in, and then they listen to and support people going through similar situations. This is helpful because it gives the opportunity for people with an eating disorder to talk to other people and not feel so alone in their struggle.
Wow, those are some really helpful resources. It's amazing how connected people can be without ever having to see each other.
It is a really powerful tool when used responsibly. Really and truly, with just a touch of a button, you can be connected to thousands of people who are going through similar things. While social media can definitely have negative consequences on body positivity, it also can have a positive impact. Recently, the body positivity movement has skyrocketed on Instagram. As of 2022, there was more than 17.62 million hashtag body positive tags. Recent research has concluded that social media can help people with an eating disorder by providing readily available access to information and peer support. There are many chat platforms such as Helpful Chat and 7 Cups that people can reach out to for support. More therapists and doctors are starting to use Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube as a way to get information out to the general public, which can help provide useful information to people struggling with body image and eating disorders. Viewing a real image rather than an ideal image has been shown to reduce body dissatisfaction. The body positivity movement can be used as a vessel to improve body image.
Even though the spread of body positivity is on the rise, most will still attest that social media is rarely people's best friend when it comes to how they perceive their bodies. This form of transactional media, as Richard Perloff has termed, creates a cycle where users seek gratification from unrealistic comparisons to the images they are exposed to. Unfortunately, women are one of the primary target groups of social media body standards, but children are conditioned through the use of embedded foods in every form of media entertainment. This exposure from a young age builds and internalizes unhealthy habits in individuals that are only exponentially escalated with the use of social media. This unfortunate conditioning and body negativity that comes from all forms of media also provides an opportunity for us as individuals to combat the ideas of inspiration and self-objectification through social media.
Most of us have found ourselves comparing our physical appearance to our favorite celebrities, and most likely it was because they are thin or have the ideal body. Fitting the beauty standards society has implemented has made us believe that thin means success and happiness. Research has shown that the media promotes unrealistic standards of beauty, and because of it, body dissatisfaction and disordered eating are developed. We are vulnerable to self-objectification, and as mentioned earlier in this episode, some groups are more likely to be affected by it. We need to recognize that eating disorders can start as soon as young children begin watching television. As Rachel Rogers introduces the healthy weight discourse, we learn that the thinness idea influences anti-fat attitudes, as well as the beliefs of managing weight through diet and exercise, which often will be excessive. Unfortunately, for some individuals, their desire to achieve an unrealistic body image portrayed by social media can lead to the constant need to compare one's appearance and often endorse extreme and harmful behaviors to achieve the thin ideal.
As a society, we tend to bite off more than we can chew when it comes to the representation of food in the media. However, we can spread awareness and positivity to those around us in such simple ways that may just forever alter the way that a person perceives themselves or those around them.
So the next time you go and post a picture, consider not filtering it and just putting your authentic self out there. If you catch yourself comparing yourself to those unrealistic standards of social media, turn it off and spend quality time with the people right in front of you. We can rewire our brains to see past the unhealthy representations of food and eating in the media and consume healthy proportions of body image and positivity. We believe in you. You've got this.
Don't forget to catch the next episode where you will learn more about the representation and the sense of the cultural representations of eating disorders and its psychological impact. This is a don't want to miss episode, so stay tuned for this compelling deep dive into culture and eating habits. Rosalind, Suzanne, and I want to give a big thank you to everyone for listening in. Bye!